You're listening to BQN. Assimilate the audio.
Engage.
78 years have passed since the days of the original USS Enterprise. Now a new Galaxy starship has been designed.
Transporter Chief, beam our listeners aboard. So welcome to Galaxy Class, which is a Star Trek The Next Generation podcast here on the BQN. I am your host, Diplomatic Standard Bearer Kevin Scarf. With me is the entire crew. Counselor Amy Nelson, hello.
Hello.
Chief Recreational Officer Ria Papagiorgio.
Good
hello.
morning. Hello.
And I am not mourning anybody, Joe Keegan, hello.
Woo! Hi.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
I am also good. I'm not
Kevin,
listening to
that
the
is-
news ever again.
Kevin, that is the perfect
Welcome to my world.
name for Joe this week.
Yes.
Thank you.
Major historical events happen, and Joe wants no part of them.
Nope. And that is all we will say about that.
Which is
Okay.
his right. So how's everybody doing?
You know what? It's rare when teachers get recognized. And listeners, you know college football and how much I love it.
Go Utes.
So there go Utes. So the NCAA has a program called the Longest Yards for Teachers. And today they are recognizing teachers in Las Vegas and at Allegiant Stadium. UNLV football is playing North Texas. I don't really care because it's not my Utah Utes, but I did get some tickets and they're going to give us a free t-shirt. And at halftime, we're going to be invited down to the field to be recognized.
Aww.
Well, that's
I
awesome.
know. I'm really
And
excited.
then tackled by a linebacker.
Oh, bring it.
That's exciting.
So after we record here, that's where I'm going.
Excellent. That's
Super
very
cool.
fun. I'm doing okay here. I picked up some. I've got a clown gig tomorrow, which is my first one since I went to clown camp. I'm very excited about
Nice.
Ooh,
that. Yeah, it's
use
at
your
the
new
Salvation Army
skills.
Church. It's their church picnic. So that should be kind of fun.
Fun.
And the Santa gigs are starting to roll in because it's less than 100 days till Christmas now.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my goodness.
Can you grow your
So,
beard
you
that
know.
quickly?
Yes, it's on a shelf right now.
Cool.
So yeah, things are looking up here, but they're getting colder too. So I got to start preparing for winter.
Yes. I had to put a jacket
it's
on when
actually-
I walked the dogs today. It was like
Yeah.
8 degrees. It was chilly.
Oh, well, Sunday I'm going to a pool party.
I'm going to a pool party tonight, but it's dropped like 20 degrees since I've been here. It's like highs are only getting up to like 95, 98.
Yeah,
So,
I was a little
getting a little
nervous
chilly.
because the weather is only going to get up to, 98 tomorrow. And I'm like, ooh, it might be chilly for a pool party.
Yeah.
Well, I just saw that we are predicted to have a warmer than normal fall. So it is a balmy 17 degrees here right now, which is nice.
Actually feels warmer than it normally does at this time of the year, strangely. I think it's climate change in action.
You always say that, Joe. Oh, it's warmer than it feels.
Like year on year, it's not got. Normally, like by mid-September, it would feel a lot cooler, but it's still feeling quite summery. And I'm like, climate change. We're doomed.
Enjoy it.
Well, let's think about the Pacific Islanders that are underwater.
I might need to bring a nice big Samoan man into my home.
That doesn't have anything to do with weather, though, does it?
What? Oh, wait. Yeah. What?
With the-
That. Yeah.
Well, shall we start by taking a look at the communications array to see if we've got any comments from our listeners?
Logs accessed.
We have, this was from last week's episode, which was Science and TNG again, which was such fun with, again, all four of us. And our friend Paul Wright Jr. says, "Yay, can't wait to hear this one. I love that technical manual. I used to check it out at the library all the time when I was a kid, until I finally just bought it a few years ago." And then Amy replied, "I just picked the same technical manual up in a New York antique store in June."
Yes.
It makes me feel old that book was found in an antique store.
Yeah.
Yes.
Although it's kind of funny that a technical manual from the future is in an antique store.
It's sort of a Back to the Future kind of thing, isn't it?
Yep.
Like a pair of glasses found in San Francisco in the 1980s.
Exactly.
yes.
However, they
Data's
would
head.
be worth more if the lenses were intact.
They would indeed. Thanks, Paul. Yeah, we were just reading Paul's comment and just went off on one. Paul, thank you for your comment. I hope you enjoyed the episode when you finally listened to it.
Yes. And from the same episode, Nadim Bayadi writes, "Yay, another science episode!" Well, yay, it was another science episode. And
People
there will
love
be
the
more to come.
science.
Woohoo! And listeners, if you have any questions to pose to our science expert, Joe Keegan, our head of not mourning anything, Joe Keegan, please let us know.
Please.
Well, that brings us to the reason we're all here today. Another Batleth battle. Ba-boom.
Da-da-da.
This is the captain. Senior officers will report to my ready room immediately.
So today we are going to look at Season 7, Episode 11, Parallels, and Season 6, Episode 9's Quality of Life. Any opening statements here on both these episodes overall?
Well, I would like to say that I am wearing my Parallels badge in honor of Parallels. My good friend Michael Lipper did a 3D print and painted this for me. So I know Michael doesn't listen, but his brother does. So Bill, you just tell Michael that I dropped his name on Galaxy Class.
Very cool. Very cool. Anyone else have anything to say about the two episodes?
Still very undecided.
I will.
Can't really call it.
Wow.
I really like both of them
Yeah.
for kind of different
I
reasons.
Interesting.
I was surprised watching Quality of Life how much I enjoyed it. So yes, I can understand the difficulties that you are having, Joe.
I am decided, so we'll see if you guys undecide me.
I feel like Amy's already decided with the disclosure of her badge that she's wearing, but I'm not sure.
And Rhea is sitting in front of a background that has peanut hamper in it, so I don't know. What are we doing?
The anticipation builds.
Our listeners might be the deciding factor if we are split because we have 4.
That's true.
Ooh,
That
we will
is
have to
true.
see.
Well, why don't we start with Parallels, because that's the way they came up in the random order here. So Parallels, who would like to do a brief summary of Parallels?
I'll do it.
Excellent. Thank you, Rhea.
So, returning from an actual Batleth battle,
Woohoo!
Worf arrives on the Enterprise D on his birthday, and of course, his victim to a surprise birthday party. Thank you, Riker. But then things start to get a little weird after bouts of dizziness here and there. Worf's starting to notice that things are not as he remembers them aboard the ship, and this is happening over the course of the next, I believe it's a few days. And things keep getting more and more different, and now we're at war with the Cardassians, and now we're getting shot at by the Bajorans, and now, wait a minute, Worf's married to Troy? And through some trial and error, and because the captain listens to his people when they start acting weird, they figure out that basically Worf is he's from a different quantum reality. All of a sudden, Lieutenant Wesley Crusher is back in this particular quantum reality. Data, they all tech the tech, bunch of Enterprises appear. They figure out which is the right Enterprise that Worf belongs to. They do a shuttlecraft exchange. But wait, Riker from the Borg-infested reality, doesn't want to go back. And next thing you know, Riker kills Riker. And everything goes back to normal. But does it?
Does it?
I would like to see the movie where the good guys from the Borg-infested universe kind of come back to our universe to get their revenge.
Ooh. That would be interesting. So that implies that they survive.
No, a scientist in the Borg-infested universe discovers what happens. So they don't survive, but there's kind of some evidence left, some quantum forensic evidence left over.
Or I think there was another Enterprise in a very, very parallel Borg-infested universe that wasn't destroyed but saw everything that happened. Maybe that's the one that gets revenge?
And sent them an email to say, I saw everything.
And he posted it on space Twitter, and the scientists saw it in the other universe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sorry guys, I really am paying attention, I promise. I was just jealous of Amy's badge, so I've made myself a wee badge.
Oh, nice.
I'm a lieutenant.
Very
What's
cool.
just above ensign, right?
Yeah,
Lieutenant
halfway.
junior grade?
No, it's lieutenant. It's halfway between full lieutenant and lieutenant junior grade.
Listeners, Joe put a badge on and he's currently shoving his nipple into the camera for us.
Mine isn't 3D printed. Mine is 2D printed. And when I say printed, I mean I used a pen, a bit of paper, and a craft knife.
Very nice.
I love it, Joe.
Quite lovely. That
is amazing.
Yeah.
Have you not spent half your life drawing Starfleet deltas? I nailed it.
Yeah, you did nail it.
I should sell
impressive.
these on Etsy.
You should.
You just have to laminate them.
Yeah, retire.
Laminate them for protection.
Yeah. Nice.
All right, so thank you for the summary, Rhea. Let's talk about guest stars in Parallels. What do we think? Who we got?
I was so happy to see Nurse Ogawa or Dr. Ogawa.
Dr. Ogawa.
Yeah.
Yes. So really good to see Patty.
Yasutake.
Yes.
What happened? I've missed it. I watched it earlier. What happened to Dr. Crusher? Was she dead or she got another job?
They never explained it. She's
just not there. I'm going to say she's dead because half the crew died in various quantum realities.
She never left the static warp bubble from Remember Me.
She's still there.
Yeah. Or she could still be head of Starfleet Medical.
Or she turned Borg because she went to go back to save Picard and we didn't get Picard. And so maybe they got her too.
Or maybe she's off in ecstasy with the space candle ghost.
Has that happened yet?
Maybe in that universe it had.
Maybe it has.
I like to think that the warp bubble universe that she was part of collapsed and enveloped her and became a skin-tight bubble around her. So she's just floating through space as a human-sized universe warp bubble.
Permanently alone and probably quite mad.
Quite insane, yes.
Well, and we do get Lieutenant Crusher Wesley back. And it was interesting. I was reading through the TNG Companion book, and they were going to bring Denise Crosby, Tasha Yar back. But we got Will Wheaton back. So I'm sort of glad for that choice. I like that better.
Yeah. I think they were afraid that if they brought Tasha back, that it would be too much like yesterday's Enterprise.
Yeah.
And Denise Crosby didn't come back because she was still waiting on her Blu-ray box set. I assume.
Well, we did get Tracy Lee Coco as Lieutenant Junior J, eating cake at the party.
Yes. And I noticed there were two wee guys, like we'd never, just random guys at the party. There was a black guy and a white guy, just standing in the background, never said anything. Obviously Worf's friends. Maybe.
I guess so. I like some of the trivia on this episode. I'm looking at Memory Alpha. Deanna wears more costumes in this episode than any other episode.
Yes, I'm so glad you brought that up because everything in Troy's wardrobe is shown in this episode except for her season 1.
Her scant.
Yes, and the jumpsuit with the no collar. But we get her dress and her off-the-shoulder dress and her, yeah.
We even get the dress
cheerleader.
Well, we even get the dress that's from Barclay's holodeck fantasy.
Yeah, the off-the-shoulder.
So she must have seen something she liked when she went in there. She might have been upset, but she liked the dress.
When life gives you lemons, make lemonade.
The comm badges that you are so proudly displaying, they were first seen in the episode Future Imperfect.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh.
And did you notice that Data's eye color changed throughout the episode too, depending on what universe you were in?
Yes.
No, I didn't.
In some universes, he has blue eyes.
Oh, I love that.
Who has blue eyes? Sorry, I missed that bit.
Data.
Ah, interesting. Let's go back.
There's a
and watch
lot
it.
of little fun touches in this episode.
Yes.
Also, like we can talk about. I'm going to sort of roll into importance to canon here too, but so the star date of this episode is the exact same star date as the DS9 episode Sanctuary, because both episodes aired in the same week.
Oh, that's so cool. Now,
Yeah.
which episode is Sanctuary?
Is that the one with the really bad
Sanctuary.
skin aliens? They leave the flakes of skin
Yes,
all over the place.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And the women are in charge, aren't they?
Yes.
As they should be.
The husbands are just 3 teenage boys.
Yes.
They always want to fight.
Cool boys, basically.
they claim that Bajor is their fabled homeworld,
And they want
yeah.
to set up a colony on a part of a continent or an island or something. Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, there were so many cool little touches there, and those little subtleties between universes I thought they did a great job with that. And of course, bringing back Wesley,
Yeah.
perfect.
And never mentioning anything, just like he's there, he's a lieutenant, he must have finished Starfleet Academy and passed with flying colors in order to be given the rank of lieutenant. You know, I think that's cool.
Yeah.
And the science bit, the shuttlecraft was called Curie, named after Marie and Pierre Curie, who discovered radium, who both died of radiation poisoning.
Yes, that was just a bit on an episode of Canada's Drag Race on the Snatch Game episode. Somebody played Marie Curie, and it was very funny.
Nice. Amy?
So one other importance to canon, I think, is the Worf-Troy relationship.
Yes.
And
Yes.
one thing that I really like about this relationship is that it started way back in season 5. And the writers were aware of this in Ethics when he broke his back, which was also mentioned when Data was recounting when Troy and Worf got together. But the writers actually wanted this to be sort of a surprise in Parallels, but had plans to talk about their relationship in future episodes, which they do in Eye of the Beholder, Genesis, and All Good Things. So to have this sort of as a surprise where it's like, Troy is married to Worf? What? I think was brilliant. And the writers had been thinking about this evolution of their relationship since season 5. And I think that's really important.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was a great way to introduce that because, obviously when Worf gets back to his correct timeline or quantum reality, or so we think, that last scene there where invites Troy to join him for dinner, orders champagne, and Troy's like, I don't know. Get a kick out of that.
One thing that I like about it is that, oh, no, it's gone. Continue.
What I did find a little bit weird was when Worf is leaving, he kisses Troy. And they don't have obviously she was married to him in her quantum reality, and he is just her friend and his. So that kiss was a bit strange.
But I felt like that added to his level of compassion and care for Troy, that he was willing to give that to her, even though he didn't have those feelings, but knowing that she needed that and had those feelings towards him.
So,
and I always saw it as he probably had those feelings, had some feelings all along to a certain level, but it never occurred to him that he and Troy could be together, probably because of his loyalty to Riker, and he considered her. He did at some level consider her Riker's property, but his eyes were kind of opened. Worf, his eyes opened. To that possibility, and that's why the first thing he does when he gets back is, "Hey Troy, want to stay for dinner?"
I didn't really care for the champagne though. I really wanted to know what he was going to order for dinner, because that would tell you a lot about how he cares for Troy. What would he order?
Whether the meal was full of Betazoid food or food.
Yeah,
there's different varieties of gach.
Chocolate covered gach.
Chocolate gach.
Chocolate gach, yeah. That, and I don't know if this is the right moment in our discussion, but there is one just cringy scene in this episode for me, and that was in that last reality when Worf's getting ready to leave, and the scene with Troy, and she's sitting there, and the line that just makes me want to punch the screen is, "It's hard to believe that there's a reality where you don't love me." I'm like, oh my gosh, come on, Troy is a human being. She's not. I know that's the 90s, but anyway.
I liked that.
I just hate that so much.
So this episode,
I mean, even if it was, yeah. Anyway,
this episode gives us the impression that there is one Worf between 285,000 quantum realities, assuming the number of hails they got when the thing was breached.
Enterprises showed up.
Yeah. So you can imagine, like, they're all just swapping Worfs. Worf's jumping, and all the other Worfs are jumping, and there's a crazy Borg universe Worf jumping about, just wondering why the ship's
There's got to be realities where Worf is dead. I would think there'd be some realities where the other reality didn't get another Worf.
Or that he's, back home on, the Klingon homeworld.
Or that he's paraplegic because his backup spine didn't work when that light barrel dropped on his head.
Yeah, he's in
or he's dead because
wheelchair.
Alexander killed him.
Oh yeah, there could be universes where Alexander just took a knife and did him in. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's interesting. In those universes where Worf would be dead anyway, did like a Worf just pop up? And what about the Worf that was married to Troy? He shows up in another universe where he's dead, and walks into Troy's quarters and tries to put the moves on.
Yeah.
Oh, hilarity ensues.
There are hundreds of thousands of other stories that could come out of this episode.
There's a whole spin-off series there.
So I have a question, and maybe it sort of breaks canon, but when Worf asks Troy to be Alexander's godmother or stepmother type of thing, I can't remember the Klingon.
Do you remember the Klingon?
Sokchim?
Right.
Yeah. So, but that happened in an alternate timeline.
Yeah.
So when in future episodes, don't we have a reference of Troy being a godmother to Alexander? Or am I just imagining that?
That was our Worf, though, was going to ask alternate Troy.
Yeah, but it wasn't our Troy.
But so he was already going to do it. So when he got back home, he realised that, I didn't ask my Troy, so we've just not seen it.
Oh, so then he did, just off screen. Okay, that fixes that. Okay.
Interestingly, I'm looking at the dates that this show aired. So it It was the end of November 1993 when it first aired in North America, but it was almost 3 years later before you guys got it over in the UK.
Of course it was.
Aren't we glad we now live in an age where shows all come out on the same day around the world, for the most part?
Usually.
For the most
Well,
part, yeah.
we've had some issues with Paramount Plus. And
Yeah.
Discovery season, what was it, 4?
For,
We're getting it right up to launch week, and
in
then they
Strange
pulled
New
it.
Worlds, you were 3 weeks behind us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
better
No
3
reason for
weeks,
it.
3 years,
Yeah, that's true.
It's all just money.
for sure.
But still.
Capitalist pigs.
Exactly. American imperialists.
It worked the other way, too. I waited weeks for Doctor Who back in the day.
But
Months. Anything else that is important to the canon here? I will take your silence as a no.
Yeah.
And that means we can move on to the episode Quality of Life. And who would like to take a crack at a summary of Quality of Life?
Amy, do you want to? No?
Joe wants to.
I don't really, but I will. So the Enterprise goes to a planet, and there's a space station in orbit, and they've got this new technology. His name I can't remember. It's some kind of mining, tunneling, fountain, drilling thing.
Yeah.
Which is supposedly capable of lifting 500 kilograms of mined material per minute. And it struck me as, that's really slow. Why wouldn't they just use transporters and beam huge chunks up of like ore, and separate it with the transporters into all the constituent elements and minerals and things? That would seem fair enough. And why are they mining anyway? I mean, the replicator can just produce vast quantities of stuff. Anyway, that's besides the point. So, they are a bit behind schedule on this particle fountain, and Geordi goes on board to figure out what the deal is and when they're going to be on schedule, with a view that the Enterprise, or Captain Picard, is going to recommend it to the Federation for continued funding, etc. There is a problem on the space station, and it's going to blow up, and the Doctor, alien woman, has a little robot, a wee peanut hamper, and she programs it, and it flies down a tunnel and fixes the problem because it's got a mini replicator inside it, and it replicates tools to fix any issues, and it's quite smart. But then Data is quite intrigued with it, and they're testing it out to see if they could use these wee peanut hampers, and another problem occurs, and the little peanut hamper refuses to fly in the tunnel, or it does, and then it flies back out, and then the tunnel explodes. And Data does loads of investigations, and it turns out that it's basically protected itself from being destroyed and refused to carry out instructions. So the age-old argument ensues that Data thinks this thing's alive, and the Doctor woman does not think it's alive, and then they have to kind of try and figure things out. The space station is probably going to explode at one point, and Captain Picard's going to die, and they give it the option, the wee machines the option to try and save things, and they wouldn't have done it if they were commanded to, but given the option of like fix it and save the humans and aliens, or save yourselves, they decide to help, and in doing so they sacrifice one of themselves, one of the little peanut hamper friends, and the two little peanut hampers live happily ever after. I think that's it in a nutshell.
Mm-hmm.
Really.
Good recap.
And, yeah.
Data did say something weird, and I always hear it every time I watch the episode, that when he's talking about what is life, and he says viruses are alive. And so the biological community is kind of split 50-50. Kind of viruses are alive, or they're not alive. There are two camps in reality. I don't know
And
where I
what
stand,
camp
really.
are you in?
I don't really have I don't really care so much. They're like, I'm sitting on the fence until they decide.
Yeah. Data brings up a point, like fire, viruses, are they alive? Yeah.
Fire not, because Crusher says they're just a chemical reaction.
Mm-hmm.
But you could argue that we are just a series of complicated chemical reactions.
Right.
So, and we're alive. So, that's it.
Very good. So let's talk about guest stars. There's one or two.
Yeah.
Peanut
Do we
hamper.
see them again? Dr. Farallon is played by Ellen Bry, and we have Transporter Chief Kelso, played by Jay Downing.
Yeah. We don't see either of them in Star Trek again. Ellen Bry, she's got I'm looking at her filmography on Wikipedia. She was a regular on St. Elsewhere. She did 52 episodes of that show. She also played Spider-Man's girlfriend in the 70s Spider-Man live-action TV show. But she doesn't have a very long, a very long CV here, as I'm seeing. It looks like the last thing on her on the Wikipedia anyway was from 2009, so she hasn't worked very much lately. But I thought she was quite good. She's trying to stand up for her inventions. She thinks of them as inventions. Mm-hmm. She's got to give a lot of technobabble, and she's pretty good at it. So, I like her.
Yeah, her ability to technobabble definitely stood out to me. That was pretty impressive.
Well, maybe we could say the Exocomps as a guest stars. They were designed by Rick Sternbach, and they only had enough in the budget to create... Oh, I just saw two of them. And they were controlled by a puppeteer with a rod, and then the person was painted out afterwards.
They do. Oh, wow. They do look a bit wobbly when they're hovering. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah,
that's cool. I like that as a guest star. And of course, we did have Tracy Lee Coco, Lieutenant Jay again.
Yeah, she's there a lot.
It's weird. Do you know it's weird? Like when you look up these people on. Like whatever, IMDb or whatever, and you only ever see them like in the episode, so they remain that age forever. Yeah. But like Ellen Bry, who played Dr. Farallon, is the same age as my dad. She's 71. So she's not that 30-something that she was in the episode anymore because many years have passed.
Yeah.
Oh, it's strange.
So still talking about the Exocomps, they were originally going to be called Metacomps, which I think would have been better because meta, you're thinking about yourself, life, stuff like that. However, there was a name, the name had to be changed because a real life company existed. And so then that's when they changed it to Exocomps.
Interesting.
And that I've always found that word exocomps to be just kind of clunky. Like I've never loved that name, and actually rewatching it last night, I'm like, why couldn't they come up with a better name? But apparently everything was taken.
I think they're a little bit too big for the 24th century.
They do seem clunky.
Yeah, I think just that we could probably build something like that just now, with the exception of the replicators, and then 400 years down the line, it's going to be super miniaturized. It'll be like a cloud of nanites that we send in. They just turn into whatever they want. But it was the 90s.
Apparently, in the original script, the idea was that like things like switches and computer terminals would start to gain sentience. So the script had been changed, I think, to these devices, which is kind of interesting. It would have been a different story if it had been like the Enterprise computer gaining sentience.
It does at one point, doesn't it? And it has a baby.
It does, yeah.
Season 7.
And
Emergence.
Oh, yeah.
So one thing that I loved about this episode was the cold open of our crew playing poker. And I think that that is very important to canon. And when I watched Put on Quality of Life and just the familiarity, the friendship, the camaraderie, like, is encompassed. Like, these guys really enjoy hanging out. And you can imagine them getting together to play poker. And I love also when comparing like the different poker scenes that we get different combinations of people, right? So in this one, there was only Beverly, Riker, Worf, Geordi. Was Data
four?
there?
I don't think Data was
it was
there.
just those four. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they all have
And-
beards, and she doesn't.
Yes, it was so funny. And Beverly, she's brilliant. It's like, well, what's this bet, And talking about how beards are there just for aesthetics or, pleasing to the eye, that there's no purpose. And so you're concerned with how you look and da-da-da. I thought that whole thing was amazing. And I wish, because she would have won that hand and all of them would have had to shave their beards.
That always kind of struck me, though, because the odds were not in her favor there. I mean, I'm like, wow, that's a bold bet because, any one of those 3 wins, she loses. It's, I don't know, it's like 3-1 in terms of...
Yeah, but
I don't know how to.
cards,
I don't know how to do.
It's based on the cards, not the number of players. But yeah, it would have been more difficult because there were 3 ways for her to lose.
Yes, that was pretty bold.
And I was thinking how handsome Geordi was looking in this episode. And I'm like, why don't we get him in a beard more often? Well, LeVar Burton had asked to grow a beard, and the producers were like, nope, not going to do it. Well, LeVar went one last time and was like, listen, I need a beard because I'm getting married. So they allowed him to grow a beard, and that's why we have a beard on LeVar Burton.
Why did he need a beard for getting married?
He wanted
I
it.
just
He
wonder.
thinks he looks better with a beard, so he wanted his wedding photos to have.
Yeah, did you watch that cold open? He wanted to be handsome. And when I struck straight, what is it, Joe?
When I stroked my beard thusly.
Yes.
And he does look good with the beard.
Yes.
I'm sure his wedding photos are lovely.
They are. And the whole cast is there.
Aw, that's awesome.
And Amy, before you ask, no, is the answer.
I know. I already tried to get some of my boys to shave their beards, and Ewan was like, nope, never going to do that again.
Joe, will you dye your hair brunette?
Sure.
Okay.
Easy.
But not shave it.
So that poker scene wasn't in the original script, but the episode was running short, so they added that.
Good thing they did.
Yeah. No, I think it really, because it doesn't have anything to do with the rest of the episode. There's no even thematic tie to it. But yeah, interesting.
Yeah, because when so preparing for this Bat'leth battle, I'm like, quality of life. Which episode is that? I couldn't remember. I thought it was the Exocomps one. Wasn't entirely sure. Turned it on and it opens with that poker scene, and I'm like, what episode is this? Yeah, because it really does have nothing to do with it. But I kind of wish they'd maybe jump back to it at the end. But a good scene nonetheless.
Yeah, I looked up on Memory Alpha earlier, and I was like looking at the guest actors. And I was like, who was the juggler? I don't remember seeing a juggler, but I'd put in cost of living, hadn't I?
Oh, right.
Cost of living, quality of life, easy mistake.
Yeah.
Quality of life, half a life. Yeah.
Well, anything more need be said about quality of life? Importance to canon. We should talk about that.
Peanut hamper.
Yes, we do get peanut hamper because of this episode.
Which was kind of funny without getting too lower decksy here. Here, the one exocomp sacrificed its life for its comrades, and in the Peanut Hamper episode of Lower Decks, Peanut Hamper did not.
Right. Because Peanut Hamper is a sentient being who can make up their own mind.
Yeah, Peanut Hamper was instructed to go aboard a Pac-led clump ship and introduce some kind of virus, wasn't it?
Yes.
And she refused.
Yeah.
But then the question is she property of Starfleet, or is she a sentient being?
Which, as we answered in Measure of a Man,
Yeah.
another continuity in this episode, she's a sentient being.
Yeah. But she looks like a toaster.
Oh my gosh, that is such a great marketing idea. Peanut Hamper toasters.
That's crossing the streams there.
Well, I used to have a Darth Vader toaster that was like, it was Darth Vader's head and it would burn Star Wars into the side of your toast. It was awesome. But a Peanut Hamper toaster, and it would burn like the Delta Shield or something into the side of your toast. So there you go, powers that be.
Copyright, trademark, done.
Yes.
2022, Joe Keegan.
Real Papa Giorgio.
Fun.
One thing I liked about this episode, and you brought it up in the summary. Oh, well, I guess, no, Rhea, you brought it up with parallels, but it holds true for this one too, that, Command listens to their crew, right? And I love how Picard's willing to take a chance and say, all right, let's stop and let's investigate new life, because that's why we're here. And then Riker is like trying to work around Data's criterion, was like, all right, well, what if we ask them? Would that be okay with you? And so we have upper level management, if you will, listening to the underlings and doing a great job. And we need more administrators following this example.
Yeah. I mean, Data basically committed insubordination and sabotage of, Federation or Starfleet property here. But he was doing it, because I guess Riker wasn't listening to him. And, I think Riker was justified, to an extent, but Data was so determined to protect the sanctity of life, in the way that Picard had kind of put himself on the line for Data. I love that aspect of this episode, too.
Right. So, anything else before we move on to the voting here and the debating?
Man.
Again, I will take your silence as a negative to that question and move on. So, we did get some feedback. I posted polls on both the BQN Collective group and on our Twitter page, our Galaxy Class Twitter, and there were some votes cast. I won't reveal the results of those votes yet, but we do have some comments from Facebook. Amy, do you want to go ahead and read the comments from the listener vote?
All right. Paul Wright says, easiest choice yet, 100% parallels. Quality of life was the more psychologically significant story, but Parallels is the exact kind of Star Trek sci-fi story I love.
Mm-hmm. And Mike Richards responded to Paul saying, so you think Klingons give out trophies for 9th place?
To which Brian Smith replies, now all I can think of is an older Klingon brooding, these young Pataks these days, always wanting participation trophies even for 9th place. Back in my day, being alive at the end of the tournament was the reward. Where in Kalis did we go wrong?
And then Paul Wright replies to Brian, actually, death in glorious combat would bring its own reward.
That's true.
And finally, Mark Wright says, oh, this is a hard choice. Mark, you are very right about that. I've still not decided.
Or, Mark, you are very white about that, because that was Mark White, not Mark Wright. No relation to Paul Wright. Mark White.
So, who's ready to vote? Is anyone ready to vote, or do we need to battle this out?
Okay, I'm going to go just so I can get my choice. And then if I teeter-totter, it's too late because this is difficult. And I wish that these two weren't going up against each other. But I have to go Parallels. It is the episode that is a go-to. If anyone asks, what would be a good episode to watch? I always say Parallels. What should I introduce people to? Parallels. I mean, as Paul said, like great sci-fi story, you know, the loop and the multi-universe gets explored here in Star Trek in such a fun, wonderful way. Yes, have to go Parallels, even though I do love Quality of Life.
Okay, I'm going to go, and I have just decided, I think we see Quality of Life a few times. Remember the episode, The Ugly Bags Are Mostly Water? It's a very similar episode. Data try to convince people that something that previously wasn't alive is alive now. And I don't think we've seen a Parallels type episode before. We've seen
the closest thing would be Yesterday's Enterprise.
Yesterday's Enterprise, yeah. So, yeah, I'm going to vote Parallels of Life. Parallels of Life.
Parallels of Life.
Quantity of lels.
Yeah. Parallels for I.
So, you ready, Rhea, or should I go?
I think I'm ready. I came in... like I said, I came in like, oh, this is easy, right? Kind of like Paul Wright. I'm like, no, this is Parallels. But then after listening to the discussion and remembering as I just rewatched these episodes in the last 24 hours, Quality of Life, mostly what I really, really appreciate about that episode is, again, Data, the extent that he went to protect these life forms. So I love anything that's a pro, sanctity of life message like that. And again, that tie into Measure of a Man, kind of establishing the Starfleet ethos, the Federation ethos, that life is valuable above all else. So, gosh, I really, really appreciated that. And then again, rewatching Parallels, and I've seen it 100 times, but still, for me, it's a good mystery, for the first probably 2/3 of the episode. Worf's trying to figure out what's going on. But I do get kind of, like, those kind of things make me uncomfortable where, everyone thinks Worf's behaving strangely and it's all just kind of uncomfortable until they start to put the pieces together. And there's that, again, for me, just that cringy scene. But in the end, I love the whole parallel universe thing. Like I agree. Again, I agree with you, Paul, and you, Joe, that's just like the kind of sci-fi stuff I love. I mean, for me, if it was all about, the science and the parallel universes, and I'd be thrilled. So anyway, to make a short story long, as is my way, I cast my vote for Parallels.
Okay. Well, that means my vote and the listener votes really don't matter.
Who cares, Kevin?
I was going to make the point that I think if I was going to give an episode to somebody to watch for the first time who'd never watched Star Trek The Next Generation, I don't know if Parallels would be that episode, because there is really a lot you need to know about these characters to make that story work for you. I'm not saying it's a bad story. It's a great story. It's one of my favorites. When we on our 100th episode, when we broke down characters, the best episode for each character, I Parallels my story for Worf. This is my go-to Worf episode. So there's that. Quality of Life, I think it's a better standalone episode. It's got that Star Trek morality in it as well. And it's great. But having said that, I would have cast my vote for Parallels as well.
So it's unanimous.
It is. And it really is unanimous. On Facebook, we had 11 votes cast, and it was 10-1 for Parallels.
Wow.
And on Twitter, we only had 5 votes cast there, and it was 5-0 for Parallels.
Wow.
So I think everyone is in agreement that Parallels is the episode that will be moving on.
Yay.
Yay. And it will be moving on in the next round, many episodes from now, against Pen Pals will be the episode it goes up against. Pen Pals got to buy into the second round.
That one's I want to be there for that one.
Okay.
See, and in my mind, I already have a winner, but
Oh my gosh!
time will tell.
No.
Our next Batleth battle in just a few weeks, not many, just a couple of weeks, is Aquiel, which is from season 6, versus Loud as a Whisper, which is from season 2. I don't think these are episodes we don't talk about very much.
Speak for yourself. I talk about Loud as a Whisper
You love Loud
all
as a
the
Whisper.
time.
Well, Aquiel, we kind of gloss over a lot. So it will be interesting to see how an early season episode fares against this later season episode. So, any final thoughts before we close this episode up and bring it to an end?
I just wanted to thank Batleth Battles for giving me a wonderful Friday evening of watching 2 excellent Star Trek episodes.
Well, you're very welcome. You are very welcome indeed. These are 2 great episodes, so they're fun to watch.
Can I change my vote?
No.
It's not going to change. What are you going to change it to? Aquiel?
Sure, yeah.
Incoming transmission.
So we would love to hear what you thought of today's episode and hope you'll join our Facebook group, the BQN Collective, to continue our discussion there. Now, you can also tweet your thoughts to @GalaxyClassPod. We would love for you to reach out. Or you can follow the network on Twitter and Instagram @BQN Podcasts.
Please hit the subscribe button on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts and leave us a star rating and written review. That helps others to find the show. So, Joe, where can people find you when you are bragging about your 9th place victory?
Victory in what, though?
Oh, it changes week to week. I never know.
Victory in maintaining a stoic
But whatever
demeanor
it
in the
is,
face
you
of
only
your
got
inner mourning.
Whatever it is, you only got 9th place.
Well, I feel like it might be something that I've only ever tried once. But I'm just so good at everything that 9th was good enough. When I'm not doing that, though, you can find me on the BQN thing on the Facebook, and you can tweet me on the Twitter at joejo77uk. You can also email me at joepodcast@gmail.com, and there's something about Instagram in there somewhere. Find me if you want. That'd be cool. And where can people find you when we're not married in a parallel universe? The 4 of us, that is.
All 4 of us.
In a weird quadruple.
living in a brownstone in Chicago.
Yes.
You're all dead because I killed you.
So when I'm not buried in the backyard of a brownstone in Chicago because I'm dead because Joe killed me because he killed us all because he couldn't handle being married to the 4 of us at once, and Ewan probably got a little bit jealous and told Joe to kill us anyway, so Ewan's the evil mastermind behind all of this. You can find me in the Facebook group, the BQN Collective, posting silly Star Trek memes when I'm not busy studying for my various things I need to study for. And Kevin, where can people find you when you are not the bearded Santa clown living in a Borg-infested universe hiding from a rogue Riker aboard the Enterprise?
Oh, that happens all the time. But right now, it's not happening. So you can find me on True North Nerds, which is a general nerd and geekery podcast I do with some friends. You can hear me on the latest episode of Mickey's Marvels, which I recorded with Tribs just the other night. And you can find me in the BQN Collective as well, posting all kinds of fun stuff. Amy, where can people find you when you've discovered that your scientific calculator has become self-aware and become a life form of its own?
Oh my gosh. I will be presenting all around the world, so you can find me there. That would be probably my TI Inspire calculators. For those listeners who know what I'm talking about, you will agree that one would be the one to gain sentient. So you can find me here on the network where I'm co-hosting All Good Things and Union Federation. I am on Twitter at Miss Amy Nelson, but my favorite place right there in Facebook, BQN Collective.
Priority 1 message from Starfleet coming in on secured channel.
If you'd like to help us keep all our shows coming to you each week, you can become a patron of the network on Patreon. We are putting out more exclusive content for our patrons that you won't want to miss, like It's Green or Amy's Math Moments. With a monthly Patreon subscription of $5 or more, you can join our meetings of the Hive Mind on the second Saturday of each month. Watch your Patreon messages for details. If you feel so inclined, please check out all the details at patreon.com/BQN. A huge shout out to our very own associate producer, Jim McMahon. You might have heard of him, the host of Trivia with Jim. And our wonderful associate producer, Davey Willett. You might have heard of him. He's our associate producer, Davey Willett. We are grateful to both of you for your support.
At this time, we would like to thank our executive producers who make this all possible. They are Mark White, Amy Nelson, Tony Robinson and Ken Tripp. A special thanks to Tony Robinson for our artwork every week and me, Joe Keegan, for our show music.
Oh.
We've got
Do we have new show music?
What?
Not yet. I've given myself a deadline.
I love this.
Because if I don't give myself a deadline, it'll just never happen.
Because it's been about a year since I've asked.
I've got the nuts and bolts of it. So, yeah. We'll have it.
Wow.
I'm going to do it Monday when Ewan's watching a funeral.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, we'll have funeral dirge music. It'll be awesome.
Wonderful.
I'll be super happy. It's all in a major key.
That's not very Bajoran.
Well, thank everyone for beaming aboard the Galaxy class. So until next time.
At this rate, the sector will be completely filled with enterprises within 3 days. Stay classy, Galaxy.
Be good to your sentient toaster, or she'll burn your toast.
Great joy and gratitude.
My beard is not an affectation.
Engage.